Okay, well, this is the second in the series of videos on the techniques for developing a physician workload tracker. In the last video, we went through the sequence of steps by which it was necessary to identify the data, the CPT description and work RVU, which was found in the website from the cms.gov. And, I take this opportunity to show an old photograph from the family of my brother and I in a go-kart. My dad was quite handy and he could build things. And I'll always remember he would say that everything was easy. You could find scrap metal and motors and stuff, but it was always hard finding the wheels. So I think there's a good analogy here. The hard part in developing this physician workload tracker was finding the data where you don't have to pay for it from the American Medical Association, since it is copyrighted material. And that's what we showed in the last video, where we were able to generate a table of 6,965 CPT codes with their corresponding descriptions and work RVUs. What I want to do in this one is just jump ahead a little bit and show you kind of the end product of what the workload tracker would look like. And this is probably 23 videos later if you watch the whole series, but if you this is what's known as the navigation pane. If you expand that, you'll see that that same table, TBL data, is still there, starting with this record and ending 6,965 records below. But using this as the backbone of the tracker, I was able to develop a couple of other tables, a lot of queries, a number of forms, and some reports. And one of the main form is called FRM main, and I'll just give you a little preview of what that would look like. I'll close our data, and yeah, we'll just say yes. Close the navigation pane, and this is the RVU tracker, at least for an ear, nose, and throat doctor. It may be different for other specialties, certainly would be, but it has an area here where there's tabs across the top, and these represents buttons, and you can label your buttons anything that you'd like. The way that I've found it convenient to label them is with the CPT code followed by the RVU value and then the description. Okay, and these buttons are attached to what's called a macro, and a macro is actually XML text. And clicking these buttons will then generate a line item, and the other table that was created called TBL list. And I'll show you that right below. This is TBL list, and this is just the representation of that list on a form. Okay, now the other thing that's on here is the immediate update of your RVU values and your total for the year, and it also gives you statistics about what consult you're using and the number of times that you've used that consult, and it adds up and gives you a total. Same is done for established patients and post-op visits as well. And you can do the same for new patients. These are some searches if you want to search for a code either by the CPT or the description, or once you have the items put in, you can search by date. There's refresh, and then this is a way to generate new buttons if you'd like to, and then there's a backup which will be export data to a Excel spreadsheet. But for example, say you saw a new patient, comprehensive, and based on your level of encounter with the patient and your level of documentation, you could justify 99204. If you click that button, it generates that that line item in your database, and it gives you a readout immediately of that 2.43 value, and it updates your total for the year. And if you look down, there's the new patient. I just click this, and this was 0 before. I don't know if you remember, but now it updated it to 1. And and the same can be said for procedures, biopsies, and that. Operations also has buttons. Surgeries, major surgeries have buttons. A lot of skin cancers, malignant and benign lesions, and the repair of those lesions, excisions of scalp lesions, and repair of neck and scalp lesions. Some of these aren't filled in, but easy enough to do. And then grafts and flaps. So that's just a brief overview. For those of you who are interested, you can continue watching the entire series, and with, if you take it all the way to the end, you could have something that is your own workload tracker. And at the end of the day, you'll know how many RVUs you've generated. And it's also possible, I didn't do it on this form, to put a dollar amount. And it's a nice thing at the end of the day for physicians that to reflect not only, oh yes, I had a good day, but you can actually see the number of RVUs that you generated and the corresponding dollar amount in Medicare dollars anyway. All right, well, I'm just going to end it there, and I hope to see you in the third video, and we'll take it up again with the previous database where we'll start making some forms. Thank you very much.